Oh god, what did I do now? I'm so white. I'm so white! I was going to keep these on, but I don't like that they're reflecting off the camera like that. It's okay, I'll just be blind for the video. It's not like I have to look at anything and make myself aware. You know what? I'm stalling. When don't I stall though? Let's be honest. I'm literally always stalling. So this video is one that I have felt like I've had to do for a while. And not in the sense that I think you guys need to know these things about me, or I think that it's... How do I word this? I think this is a video that can help people, and that's always been my goal, is to help people. Since I was younger, I've always wanted to make people smile and all of those type of things, and I think this is something that needs to be talked about. To start off, mental health issues are very stigmatized. We all know this, regardless of whether or not you yourself deal with them. Hello, I'm back. I shut the door. Okay. I'm not gonna go into statistics or anything because I don't think those are things I necessarily need to talk about. I think we all know that there are a lot of people that deal with mental health issues, whether it be depression, bipolar disorder, borderline personality disorder, schizophrenia, anything of the sorts. It's not talked about a lot, it's frowned upon. People who have these issues a lot of the times don't realize they have them, or they're dealing with them and they don't know how to cope because they can't talk about it, or they just feel lost and alone and scared, and that's so normal. That is such a normal feeling to feel when you have these things, but you shouldn't have to feel like that. So what I wanted to do is we're going to get deep, we're going to talk about things today that I said I wouldn't really ever talk about, but I think speaking about my experiences might help somebody and might push somebody who is feeling the same way that I once did to get help. When I was 16, which those of you who don't know, I am 20, I had a lot of things happen in my life over the years. It had affected me a lot, and I became very sad. There were just points where I didn't think I could go on with life, and it got to a point where I got scared of myself. And you never want to be scared of yourself. That's one of the most important things in life, is for you to love yourself and to be taking care of yourself and to make sure you're being the best you can possibly be. That is one of the most important things, and that should be something you're always focusing on, is bettering yourself. And I think we all have issues with that, even if we're in the best place we could possibly be. Sometimes we focus on other people more than ourselves, and it's hard. You don't realize you're doing it. I was very, very sad, and I didn't know what to do. I had thoughts that I didn't know how to deal with. And a lot of it was probably pertaining to the fact that I am not straight, that I like women. I'm not a lesbian. I have liked men, and I do like men, but I didn't know how to deal with not being fully straight. And that is something that is very hard, especially at that age, because you think, oh, maybe it's just a phase, which I 100% know it's not a phase. But that was one thing going on that I didn't really know how to deal with. There were other things that contributed to the fact, but that was probably a big one, and I wasn't really out to anybody at the time, which now I don't care because I'm me, and I love myself for being pansexual and just loving who I love. I don't let genders define who I love, and that's just me personally. That's who I love, that's just me. Things just became very hard. And I went to my parents, and like I said, I was 16 at the time, and I told them about how I was feeling, and my mom said, okay, well, we will set you up for therapy. And I just want you to know that there's nothing wrong with seeing a therapist. There's nothing wrong with needing to talk to somebody outside of your family or your friends. or just because you can't feel like you can talk to them. That's why these resources are there. That's why we have them. If you're feeling in a place like you feel like you can't get out of it, or you're having these thoughts that, you know, could be about harming yourself or harming others, that's why we have these resources like therapy, or, you know, places you can check yourself into. And there's nothing wrong with that. People think that there's something wrong with that, and they think it makes you crazy or whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. That's why they're there. And what a lot of people don't realize is that mental illnesses, they're not just you making these things up. They're actual disorders inside of your brain. It's just like if you had, let's say, diabetes and your pancreas couldn't produce insulin. Literally, it's because your brain is not producing a chemical, which I believe it's dopamine. I'm not 100% positive, but it's because your brain is not producing a chemical to help you, to help stimulate your brain in that aspect. There's nothing wrong with it. But what I did is I went and saw a therapist, and I told her exactly how I was feeling, and I felt like I could trust her. I told her everything I was feeling, and she told me your best option, and I'm being 100% honest with you, is to go to the hospital, because I was feeling in such a bad place, and I didn't know how to get out of it. I went and got help. And it wasn't like my parents forced me to or whatever. I went on my own accord because I thought, you know, I deserve better than how I'm feeling. I deserve to be happy, and I deserve to be healthy, because I wasn't taking care of myself, and I wasn't happy. I was not happy. I was in a very bad depressive state. And so I went to the hospital. I was there for about a week, and they put me on medicine at the time, which I don't take anymore. But honestly, that was one of the biggest wake-up calls that I've ever had in my life, and one of the best things that could have happened to me at the time. I'm going to be 100% honest, it saved my life. I don't think I would be here if it wasn't for that step in the direction that I needed to go. I know that I was just not happy, and I wasn't able to deal with things, and I didn't know how to deal with things, and I didn't know that it's okay to be sad sometimes and not to let everything bother you. And that's the thing, you can get sad. It's normal to feel sad. You're supposed to feel sad. You're supposed to cry sometimes, but to the point that I was feeling it, it was such a bad time in my life. But that hospital 100% saved me, and I don't feel crazy for going. I don't think anybody who was there was crazy for going. I think that sometimes we need to take a step back and realize we need to do things for ourselves. And I know I just wasn't in the right state of mind. I needed to do what was best for me. Sorry, I get a little emotional talking about this stuff, because I think back on those times where I was in such a bad place, and, you know, my depression and my anxiety was through the roof, and it was just a hard time in my life. Afterwards, I went to therapy for a while until I felt better, until I felt like I could do what I needed to do. And to this day, I'm not on any medicine. I'm able to mostly cope through everything I need to cope through. I have a very good support system that helps me out, that talks to me, that, you know, deals with me when I'm in those states. And that's a big thing that helps, is when you have those type of people in your life that can help you out and see that maybe you're not in the best spot right now, but they know ways to help you out, because it's not something you should deal with alone. Nobody should have to deal with how they're feeling alone like that, ever in their life. And I still have moments now where I get sad, or where I'll get, you know, not confident, or I'll feel a certain way, and that's just life. That is normal. You will feel like that. You are not going to be 100% happy all of the time. You can try to make yourself as happy as you can be, of course. You need to find that center ground of things that help you. And what I want to do is I want to talk about some things that help me, or things that I do when I'm feeling sad or anxious, because I'm literally a ball of anxiety. Like, I have anxiety all the time. Things that I do when I'm feeling depressed or anxious, or, you know, just not in the right place of mind. I'll play video games. That's something that helps me so much. And that's why I think a lot of people may find it weird that I still play like Roblox or these younger kid games. I usually don't play them alone. I'll play them with friends, or a lot of the times I'm playing with my nephews and niece who are little ones. These things, that is something that helps me relax, helps me calm down, helps me get my mind off things. And it's fun because you make memories with people you care about, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's something that helps me out just to get my mind off of it. Talk to friends. I have a great group of friends right now that I care about all of them so much, and you guys know who you are. And they're people that really mean a lot to me, and they help me out during these times where I'm feeling sad or feeling anxious or just feeling not confident about myself. And, you know, talking to them helps so much. I also will watch YouTube, which, to reflect back a little bit on my life, a little while ago, November, December of last year, I ended up in a bit of a bad place. Not as bad as I was a few years ago, but it was pretty bad. A lot of things were going on in my life that it was too much piling on top of each other. It wasn't that I couldn't deal with it. It was just a lot, and it was very understandable as to why I was sad. But I found YouTube, which, I mean, I knew about YouTube, but I found gamers and these people that I watched. I mean, I'm sure all of you know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to name names, but they were people that really helped me through dark times in my life. And watching them was something that I felt like I could look forward to every day. And that's a big reason as to why I'm in such a better place now. Another big thing you can do is find things that make you happy and center your thoughts on that, which is what I did when I was feeling like that last year. I used YouTube as something to help me get myself out of that place, because I would watch the videos every day, the new videos, and they would just make me happy and they'd make me laugh, and they were something that, you know, even though I was going through all of these things, I could, you know, take time to relax and just have a good time. And that's something that is very helpful when you're in those places. And sometimes you need to sometimes you need to yell at yourself and tell yourself, you know, today's gonna be a good day regardless of what happens. And you find the little things in your day that made you happy at the end of the night, and you reflect on them. And it could be something as silly as, hey, you know, some stranger smiled at me today, or, you know, I helped an old lady cross the street. Like, it could be anything that is happy, that is worth your happiness. I just think a lot of people don't realize that it's okay to get help, and it's okay to ask for help, and you're not being attention seeking. You're not, you know, anything all these people call you. I promise you're so worth everything. And I know you may not see that right now, or you may not feel like you're worth it, and you just may feel like, you know, what's the point? But I promise you that you are, and you deserve to feel better about yourself and to love yourself, because loving yourself is such a great feeling. And even if you're not 100% there, or if you're on the road to loving yourself or feeling happy, that's okay, because it takes time. It takes effort. Happiness takes effort. I think the first step to becoming happy is realizing that you deserve to be. So this is just some things that I've dealt with, or things that I've seen that have made me happy. I kind of went on a little rant. I probably forgot a lot of things. I just was speaking from my heart. I didn't plan any of this out. This is all just literally a footage of me sitting down and speaking my heart. So I hope this helps some people that are feeling that way. I hope you realize it's okay to get help, that mental illness is something that you don't have to deal with alone. In the description below, I'm going to put the National Suicide Hotline number in case any of you are feeling a certain way or think you may need it anytime later on. Just know that you're worth it, okay? And that you will get through this. Even if you have to remind yourself every day that you will get through this, I promise you it whatever is going on, it will pass, and you will come out so much stronger and so much happier. Thank you for watching, guys. We got a little deep here today, but you know, it's okay to get deep. Love you guys. Bye.